Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Inspiring Spaces. My name is Crystal Fenner and I'm an interior designer. I created this channel in order to help you with any questions that you may have regarding interior design and hopefully to inspire you to try new things in your home or in your spaces. Today I wanted to talk about color. What are the new colors of 2022? What are we going to see coming in? What are we going to see going out? Color affects us in many different ways. We don't even realize that it's affecting us. For instance, the color blue is calming. It's like the sky or the ocean, and you'll see blues in hospitals to calm you. You'll see blues in spas. It's just kind of calming and relaxing. With blues, you have to be careful that you don't use a lot of it because it can be overwhelming and make you feel cold. So if all four walls in your house, in your room are blue, it can make you feel cold and enclosed. But blue is actually one of my favorite colors. I love all colors, but I really love blue. I use it in my home. My office is painted blue. All of my walls are painted blue in there. And it's an accent color throughout the rest of my home. So yellow, back before, like when my mother had me and before ultrasounds were a big thing, when you were pregnant, you would paint your nursery yellow. Yellow was a unisex color, so you didn't know what you were having. So if you had a boy or you had a girl, the yellow was a perfect color for your nursery. And what they find out, even though yellow is associated with happiness, with children, yellow stimulates anxiety and it makes babies cry. So you don't want to paint your nursery yellow. Who would have thought, right? You'll see back centuries, centuries ago, purples and deep greens, emerald greens were associated with the royals. So purple and greens are money, wealth. They're high up there with standards and where you are in the society. You would wear, deep purples and golds. One thing that I wanted to say is that there are some colors that you should put in certain areas, like I talked about the yellow, is lavender. Lavender, I love lavender, but you have to be very cautious and very careful when you use lavender in a room. If you use lavender in a bathroom, it's a big no-no, especially if you're going to apply makeup in the bathroom. Lavender reflects gray, and it actually can make you look yellow or pale. So you should never put that, like if you own a beauty salon, you should never put lavender walls in your salon because it doesn't reflect very well. Now, you could use it in these areas as an accent color, of course, but it's not something that I would suggest as putting in all four walls. So that's just a little bit of how we're not even aware of how we get stimulated by color. Your appetite, crying, calmness. So you need to think about that when you're painting your house or you're painting your space, what room you're doing. How is this color going to affect you? What do you want to happen in this room? Are you going to sit and watch TV? Is it going to be your office? Is it your kids' room? Is it where you're going to go and relax? So those are just colors, just ideas of what you need to think about with the colors. Another thing I wanted to talk about is there are different sheens when you're choosing your paint color. So there is the flat paint. When you go to get your color mix, they're asked, how do you want this? Do you want this flat? Do you want it semi-gloss? Do you want it satin? Do you want it eggshell? So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. When I design a home and we're painting in the house, we will typically, they say 4 walls, but you typically have 5 walls because don't forget your ceiling counts, okay? So when we do the ceiling, whether it's a white or whether it's an accent color or just a shade lower of the color that we're using everywhere else, I always use it in a flat. I don't want my ceiling to reflect. So when you start to get into the shiny sheens, it starts reflecting. I just want my ceiling to be there and just kind of be part of the room. And sometimes you want it to not even be there, to like disappear. And so maybe you'll use a darker color to give it some depth. When I do walls, I typically like to do, my favorite is satin. I know a lot of people will do eggshell. Satin walls and eggshell walls are easy to keep clean. They're easy to wipe off, and they don't like rub the paint off. So those are great sheen colors for your walls, satin and eggshell. When you're talking about your trim, your doors, you're gonna wanna use a semi-gloss to even a gloss. Makes it very easy to clean, wipe off, wipe everything down. So I would suggest using that on your trims in your doors. And that is outside as well. Okay. Another thing I wanted to talk about is how, no. So, all right. So the big question, the drum roll, is what is the color of 2022? So I researched. I'm always researching what's new, what's coming up, what's going out. So 2020, actually 2019, 2020, and 2021, we have seen a lot of blue, a lot of different shades of blue. You're doing a lot of navies. Naval was, big. Inky blue was big with Sherwin-Williams. I think because of COVID, we kind of had it repeat, 2 years in a row because we've lost time there. I feel like things kind of came to a standstill. So when I went in 2019, when I went to the market, everything, all accessories, everything was blue. Blue walls. I mean, you couldn't look anywhere without seeing blue. And then I went in 2020. And there was hardly anybody there because of COVID, but still you saw the blue again. And then this year I went and it's still blue. I love blue so much, but oh my goodness. So I'm ready for a new color to be the accent. And I have great news. It is. So it is called, this is the Sherwin-Williams. This is the color Evergreen Fog. It does have a little bit of a gray tint to it. Not a lot. But it does go more the grays. So that is Sherwin-Williams. Now I looked up Benjamin Moore, and Benjamin Moore color is called October Mist. It's similar to this. It's so close to this color. It's kind of hard to tell them apart. One of my favorite paints to use is Porter paint. So I looked up Porter paint, and Porter paint is called, the color for 2022 is called Olive Sprig. Do you see the resemblance here? Do you see how it all kind of works together? One thing that you see with color in interior design is this is the same color that you're going to see in fashion and clothes. What's coming up, what's going out. I noticed that there is a lot of warmer colors coming around in the fashion. Hence, there is more warm colors coming into interior design. You're going to start seeing grays go bye-bye. Yay! So excited. As a designer, I am so tired of gray. First of all, I live in the Midwest, and here in Indiana, it's gray 6 months out of the year. I don't want gray in my house either. Don't get me wrong, I love gray. But if one more person asks to do gray, I'm going to be like, no! So I really am trying to talk people out of it. Because there's new colors coming up. And like I said earlier, they are warmer colors. So exciting. I did pull some colors. These are Sherwin-Williams too. Now I don't just do Sherwin-Williams, but they send me samples fairly quick. And I like to get them so that I can, compare. Some of these colors they're so much warmer. You're gonna see them coming in being the primary color. You know how they said gray is the new neutral. Well, like I said, gray's going out, so we're gonna start seeing the warmer colors come in. Oh, so excited. And mixing that with other colors. Again, you're still gonna have the blues. The blues are still popular, but maybe not quite the navy, maybe different shades of it. I talked a little bit earlier about the ink inky blue. It's this one. I love this blue. So you have to be careful. There are lots and lots of pinks, different shades of pinks, and the salmon colors are coming in. And those are just going to be your accent colors. Now with most of, like with Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore, you can go on their website, you can take a picture of your room or your space, and you can download it on there, and you can see the different colors, what your paint would look like in that room. So I love that about it. So I suggest that you do that. I also suggest that when you do pick a color, that it's a color that you love. Not necessarily something that is just the color of the year, but it's something that you love, something that makes you happy. And keep in mind, like I said earlier, what color are you using in that space? What is that space? You know, again, like if it's your office or if it's you know, a reading room. You don't want to do anything really too dark in there because you're going to want to read in there. You need lots of light, which brings me to when you're choosing a color for your space, how much natural light is coming in? Which way is the sun coming in, you know, during the day? When natural light comes into the room, it affects colors so differently. You never know what you're going to get. And like I said, here in the Midwest, it's gray 6 months out of the year. How does that light affect our surroundings, the paint color that we're choosing? So think about that. I strongly suggest that you go to your local paint store, get samples, get the larger samples if they'll give them to you, or actually buy a quarter pint of the paint that you want to use and paint it on your walls. Sherwin-Williams actually has a peel and stick samples that you can get and you can put them on your wall. And just make sure that that's, you know, the color that you like. You will save so much money and so much time in the long run by making sure you get the right color the first time. So go get a sample of what you're looking at, what you like, and paint it on your wall. You're going to paint there anyways, right? So paint your wall, paint an area of your wall, and do each 4 walls. Because how the light comes in, the natural light comes in, affects each wall. And you want to make sure you like it everywhere it shows. You also want to make sure that you're keeping it up during the day and during the night, your sample, so that you can see how it looks both day and night. If you can keep it up a little bit longer and see how it looks when it's gloomy out or whatever, that's also good too. But just take my word for it and make sure that you try it before you buy it and do all of the work, because you will save money and time in the long run. I've done it before. Painted a room and had to repaint it. It was not fun. I was not a happy camper. It's my own fault. Trying to hurry, and it never pays to hurry. So I strongly suggest that you get samples and try it out. Another thing that I wanted to say is when you are, you know, painting and you're thinking about what's the room doing? What do I want it to do? What's the right sheen for me? One thing that I didn't say with sheens is if you do paint your walls a darker color, it's important that your walls are pretty perfect. That means that there's not a lot of imperfections going on. You know, that you've got great drywall, you've got a great wall to work from, because when you paint darker colors on walls, it shows every imperfection. You have to be extremely careful with that. You also, a lot of times when you paint walls and you want a darker color and your walls aren't perfect, you may want to change that sheen from the satin or the eggshell to a flat. The flat won't do the shine like the others will, and that'll allow you not to see so much of, you know, if your walls aren't in that great a shape. So that's one thing too. Watch your walls. You're going to want to use the right paint for some paint comes with a primer in it. Some paint comes with a primer in it. So you want to make sure that if you're covering something that needs to be primed, you're either using a primer beforehand or that you're getting a good paint that has it built into your paint color, into your pigment. One thing that I want you to be aware of is when you color match paints and you color match like this one from Sherwin-Williams, and you take it and you want it in Benjamin Moore, you're not going to get the exact same color. Each company uses a different formula to get the colors that they have. They use different pigments, they use all kinds of different things. You're not going to get a great color match. I know everybody's like, oh, color match is great, it's the greatest thing. Trust me, when you put it on your wall and you've used a different product in a different, in the same, what you're thinking is the same color, it will come out different. You'll be not happy. So watch that with your color matching. And I think that's about it. Just make sure that whatever color you choose is the color that you love and that it's flowing from room to room. And I hope that I've helped inspire you, maybe answer questions. If you do have any more questions and you want to send me pictures and get help with choosing the right color for your space, comment below and I will make sure that I get back with everyone. Share this video and stay tuned. Subscribe because we have lots more videos coming in and you'll be able to get inspired. Thank you. Blessings.